Hey guys, um, yeah, it's 10 p.m. and it's Thursday night. It's 10 p.m. South African time, and gather yourselves, guys. Gather yourselves. Shobra Jacob Obama. Well, let me know where you're watching from. Well, I can see where you're watching from, but obviously, I'm trying to drag you guys to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribing yet, please do subscribe. Welcome back, Bitumelo. It's like fourth night in a row. Um, So, guys, I've got a series on my YouTube channel called South Africans Living in New York. I did about 4 episodes almost 2 years ago, actually. It was around about June, July. And I spoke to some South Africans that live in New York. I was going to do South Africans living in Toronto, South Africans living in London, South Africans living in Washington. And, uh, and then I never went back to New York for a long time. And then I went to New York in November, but I didn't do more episodes. And then there was lockdown, and now I'm doing more episodes, but I'm doing them in front of a computer. But I don't know if you guys know anybody that's out there, if you've got friends or family or relatives that are living in New York or in the US for that matter. So today I've got a friend of mine that's here, and we met about I think 2017 or 2016. I was doing a show in New York, and she was pretty much hooking me up with my marketing, helping me out with my show. You know, she's a South African, been living in New York, doing PR events, um, fitness enthusiast. I don't know if we met on Instagram or if I was introduced to her, but either way, we've been friends forever now. You know, one of those people. If I go to New York, at some time, some point, or the night before we leave, we get together, South Africans, she shows up, and we try and have a good time. But so today, you guys will get to meet her. We'll just chat about her for a bit, you know, her journey from South Africa to New York. And then obviously, we're going to get into how all of New York, I saw most of Manhattan is all boarded up, no windows. If you're not boarded up, you don't have windows anymore. We've obviously been seeing some of the riots on TV about, you know, which started with the shooting of Floyd, and obviously comes from a whole lot of other black men that have been shot and women by police in the U.S. for being black before anything else. But we'll chat to that later. You guys know you can go in the chat, ask your questions, yada, yada, yada. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, people of South Africa, people of all over the world, it's 5 past 10 p.m. in South Africa, and it's 4 p.m. in New York, I think. So please welcome the one and only Miss Belinda.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good and you?
Sharp, sharp. No stress, no complaint.
That's cool, man. You look so good.
Listen, I'm chilling outside. I'm just trying to, get with this new normal. Like the times that we are in are so serious. Like, every call that I've been on right now, like prior to today as well, it's real. It's real.
Um, how warm is it? Warmish? Is it hot? Is it what's the weather like
So
for
right
you?
now is summer in New York. So it's officially summer. I have my next door neighbor kicking it like she's Jamaican.
You
So
can
you're
come say
already in
hi.
she should Dora. David Gow says you should come say hi. You should come from that side. Just come say hi. Don't ask too many
No, just
questions. You're always
say
asking
come say
questions.
hi.
she's a
Tell her to
busy
come say
bird.
hi to South Africans. It's not just me, you know.
I know. Trust me, she loves our vibe, and I think when you say black people, it's a very general term, but if you're South African and you are African American, I've been here for what, 3 years? It's not the same thing. If I'm South African and I've come from South Africa and I'm in America right now, like there's a huge difference, besides just the accent and the cultural difference, how we behave, how we respond to things. My husband's always like, why do you always have to say ish and make sounds with your mouth? I hate those sounds. I'm like, I can't help it. I am who I am. So this is my
Hi.
next. Wait, let me take this off. Dora, you gotta put
I'll
this
put
one on.
one on.
So this
Hello.
guy, you don't know him, Dora. This is a very serious person.
How are you?
Like this, yeah, like he's a
Hey,
comedian in
how
South
are
Africa.
you?
I'm
Amazing
doing
person.
well.
He's just trying to find out more about, the riots and everything going on in the United States. Just trying to share the perspective of what's going on here with South Africans.
Wow. Wow. It's craziness going on over here right now, but because we know the higher power
Yeah.
and because our black power,
Uh-huh.
we will survive it.
That's
They
awesome.
can take everything from us, but they can't take the inner spirit. So that's what makes us, we're conquerors.
So we're hopeful, right? We've got
We're very
hope.
that's all we have. If we have nothing else, we have that love and hope, and that's
Who
why
we
we've
are.
been prospering for years and years, 500 years now. You know,
Have, have you been to South Africa?
I haven't, but I did promise Belinda the next time she goes, I'm with her.
I think
Um,
we're all making so all of us are saying we're coming to Africa. So that's amazing. You know, all my friends I talk to that are in the US, everybody
yes,
wants to come to Africa, come to South Africa.
I'm definitely looking for it. I'm half a century already, and that's the last thing, if anything, I want to do before I leave this world is
That's
to
awesome.
visit my Mother Nature.
Thank you. I'm glad
Yes.
you're hopeful, right?
Yes, yes. And it's nice meeting you. So I look forward to now when I come down there, I
Oh
have a
yeah.
friend.
Yes.
And
Anytime.
persuade my friend to visit America more often.
Mikasa Sukasa. That's what they say, right?
Yes, yes. And thank you for allowing us to share the love. Because she's amazing. She's a
She's
beautiful person.
awesome.
I don't know what Africa gonna do with her, but I'm pretty sure there's many more of her there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't even know each other, but she was helping me
Uh-huh.
with my show in New York before we even met.
I
Yeah.
didn't know.
We met
Honestly,
online.
That
and
online.
listen, this is how I got to actually. This is the quick intro to how I met this guy.
Uh-huh.
And because my husband was like, yeah, everybody wants to work with you. I see Black Coffee texting you, this, that, and the other.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, David, it's just work. It's work related. It's not
Yeah.
that personal. Wada wada.
Just tell them your
And then
husband is also David, right?
yes, my husband spoke to David. So now, when we went to the city,
Uh-huh.
he was hosted by Dave Chappelle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so like when I actually went to the place, I was like, nah, I don't know about this guy really knowing him
Yeah.
like that, being in the same place. I was like, maybe we're being conned here or whatever. But when we went in there and I actually saw Dave Chappelle, because I didn't stay long for that
Right.
night, but I saw David Gow with Dave Chappelle, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
this guy obviously has a history of a lot of hard work that he's done because he wouldn't be rubbing shoulders with people like this if he
Right.
wasn't doing his
Right.
job, right? So whatever he's doing, he has the right formula. You know what I
Right.
mean?
But keep it going, and you have the right source, because
Thank you.
Thank you.
she's so ambitious. So what you can't get done over here, or what other people is doing, you can make sure and count assure that she's doing everything in Will's power to make it happen.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. So
So
God bless. Have a
we'll
good
see you
day.
soon. We'll see you
Yes,
soon. Either
we will
way,
see you
either we come there or you come here. But
exactly. Yes. Okay.
nice
Bye.
meeting
Nice meeting you. That's it.
you.
No problem.
Welcome back. How long have you been in New York?
Yeah, it's gonna be 3 years. So this year,
No, it's not 3 years.
three.
My show was, I think, 2017, August.
August 2017. So that means I arrived a couple of months before that because my
Oh,
resignation letter from YFM was end of April 2017. So prior to that, I was in Texas for a couple of months. Listen, nakashesha. Like when it comes to like before things pop off, I'm serious. Like people don't even understand. Like most of the time when I tell people my story, there's so much that's transpired in my life right now. I feel like I could retire. And that's not even out of arrogance or anything, but that's because when it comes down to it and getting things done, like I accelerate. I just push and
When
I
did
push.
you become like that?
Huh?
When did you become like that? When was your I got to do this thing and I'm going to do it. I'm on my own, or I know where to go if I need help.
I think it
But
was when I was living with my grandmother. Yeah. Because I was raised by my grandmother. I'm the class rep, but I'm late today. Just want to
don't
welcome you.
worry,
Okay.
don't worry. There's a small count that's happening here. So almost
Oh,
everybody that you see here comes here every night for the past week.
respect.
Yeah,
So I think I got that from just staying because I'm from Northwest Potchefstroom. I get so ke
yeah,
ngwana ko lekeisheneng, ke tswa Ikageng, and like growing up with my grandmother, I wasn't raised by my mom and dad. My
yeah,
grandmother raised me for the first 12 years, and from there on after, my uncle took care of me in Joburg. We went from Pretoria to Joburg. But I got that ambition when I realized that, okay, so my grandmother always used to say, "Hore, I'm an older lady. So as I'm raising you as a young girl, I need you to understand that I'm not always going to be here. You already see that you've come into a world and you are not normal." you know like there's no mom and dad, there's grandma. So now the mindset has to change now before you even become an older, you know
yeah,
young woman, so that you understand that you're standing on your own 2 feet. If you don't make it happen, nobody else is going to be there to help you out. Just stand on your own 2 feet and try figure things out on your own, and you'll get to where you're going. And my grandmother was a church lady and all that. So, she always prayed for me. And I believe that contributed a lot in my life as well,
yeah.
because, I think it's just by grace that 28 years later, at least I'm not missing teeth. I don't have any kids. I'm not 5 divorces later, all of that drama. But
How? I mean, first of all, doing PR. You're talking about YFM broadcasting, and from somewhere in the middle of Northwest, in the middle of nowhere in South Africa. How did you end up in New York? Do you understand why people would be like, okay, yeah, sure, you're in New York now. Oh, okay, Wana Jozi or Rotsa Jozi. Corona Spanawa. Then you're now telling us you come from some small dorpy in Northwest, right? Which is a province in South Africa or like a state, in a way. And so you were not sitting in Northwest wanting to do PR, right? Wanting to travel and seeing yourself in New York, or were you already?
yeah, yeah, I think, um, you know, part of me being raised by my grandmother. Remember, I mentioned that I wasn't raised by my parents. At 16, I had a horrific experience with my father when I reached out to him and I wanted to find out from him, okay, listen, brah, it's 16 years later, trying to have this relationship, father, daughter, do you want to be that person in my life now? And, you know, it was a rude awakening to actually, get that response from him, because my family had told me, "Hore, listen, do not try to do your own thing behind our backs to try and reach out to your dad, because it's going to end very bad. We know this guy. Just listen to us, take our advice, stay away." Okay.
Yeah,
But obviously, curiosity. I was a teenager and I just wanted to, find out, okay, like, who is this guy, man? Like, I need to find out. So when I reached out to him, something that he had mentioned over the call, because he was like, okay, so who is this speaking? Kiriki Tumeleng, I am Loretta's daughter. And he's like, Oh, so okay, you're the one they kept. Okay,
Oh
sharp. And so,
wow. He said
so
that.
listen, he said a whole bunch of other things, but that I wouldn't want to necessarily get into because
Yeah.
I don't want to, because, it would paint the picture of who he is to me right now. I mean, I've forgiven and I've let that go,
Yeah.
but I think, um, you know, part of the things that he said to me in that conversation, which was that you should never rely or depend on anyone, including myself as a father, because I was not in your life for a reason. I chose that. That was my personal decision. So, you are on your own. Remember, my grandmother had initially already told me that, "Kore, listen, girl, fanele usheshe la," and then when I spoke to him and I reached out to him, and he, solidified that by saying that, I mean, I told your family that we didn't want you. I told your mom, she chose not to, let
Yeah.
go, and she kept you. And now, 16 years later, you're trying to have this relationship that I never wanted from the get go. So
Yeah.
it's not to hurt your feelings, but the reality of it is just that I just never, you know. So, like,
You have, I know you've got a sister.
yes, I
Do
have
you
two
have children?
sisters.
Oh, okay, two sisters.
Yeah, so my older sister's 31, I'm 28, and my little sister is 21.
And are they both still in South Africa?
They are.
They don't want to come and join you
Well, my sister bought property. Congratulations to her, my older sister.
in South
And
Africa?
yes,
Yeah.
so I mean, I don't, like I've had these conversations with them because I want to have kids, and I know how I was raised, and my siblings and my cousins. I've got a very, very, very close family. Like I
Yeah.
mentioned before, that we're from a family that believes in Jesus Christ, so we're not even trying to be separated. And
Yeah.
when I chose to separate myself from my family, that was a big shock because Wanaona, all the way, like you said, from Northwest, I was always, ambitious. Part of what my grandmother was teaching me was just, again, to stand on your own 2 feet. Um, I've always just been ambitious. Now that I am where I am, my family's like, okay, now that you're standing on your own 2 feet, coronavirus, riots, you're still on your own 2 feet.
Do you
So
remember your first day in New York?
I do. So my first day in New York was probably when I was 20, because I had actually gone to IHS. I don't know if you know the school in Stanton, the International Hotel School.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to that school, and that school actually allowed us to have um, opportunities to be placed in private golf clubs in Florida and New York. So my first experience of America as a whole was based on my practical experience from school, because I left South Africa for 6 months. So when I came
Wow.
here, yeah, I got to get a taste of what America was all about. And yeah, the big bags of chips. I was like, oh, South Africa has the Simba chips that are this big. And here in America, they're like 3 times big, bigger than everything is bigger, like everything is faster. The internet is faster. We are sheshwala, people speak faster. So even when I speak, that my demeanor, you know, they can tell that you're not from here. That's why I'm saying when we look at each other, oh, cool, she went to IHS. When we look at each other, we may all be people of color, but based on where I come from and how I was raised, we're not the
Yeah.
same. We're not the same. We don't behave the same. It's just different.
And
You
then
know.
what made you want to come and go and live there or come back to New York? I mean,
Well, what made me come back is because of my husband.
so did you meet him then when you were at IHS?
Not when
Not
I
I.
was
Yeah, when you were
so
there
when
for
I
6 months.
So I graduated from IHS, Kiferite Skolo,
Yeah.
and then after graduating, I obviously needed to decide where I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, and something that my uncle, and I'll always be grateful to him because he was the one who actually took me through high school and to college. So like when I finished college, he was like, listen, I don't know what your plan is, but goals. You need to write down what you want. You need to start plotting and scheming, strategizing what you want for yourself. He was always, because my uncle's an engineer. He's a mechanical engineer. So
Yeah.
our conversations and how I was brought up, after my grandmother. So I was raised with a lot of love with my grandmother. And then when it came to my uncle, he was like, listen, all that babying shit is out the window. I don't have time for this. Like, I'm going to tell you what needs to be done, what you need to do. How, if you don't write your goals down, I don't know how you plan on achieving those things. But, part of me choosing to come to the United States was always that he's always had a bigger picture of
Yeah.
everything, so he kind of taught me,
Understood.
or yeah, he taught my mind to see the bigger picture. So even now I'm 28, but I kind of have an idea at 35 what I want, where I want to see myself, because I have those goals in place. So part of the reason why I came to the United States was because that was a goal I had even before
Yeah.
going to IHS. I knew that I wanted to be outside South Africa. I knew that I wanted to get this global experience. I knew that I wanted to know more about cultures besides, Zulu, Tswana, Sotho, Pedi, Xhosa. I was like, okay, been there, done that. I've experienced this. It's beautiful. It's rich. But over and above
Yeah.
that, I want to know what the world, what's out
Yeah.
there, So
Um, have you have you ever felt threatened while being in America or
yes,
being scared?
I
So,
did.
so besides being threatened, have you ever felt you were scared? Right? I'll give you an example. Maybe it's my paranoia. Anytime I'm away from my house, right? I could be in Cape Town, or as long as I'm not in Joburg, there might be like a power cut or like something weird always happens, and I can't take care of it because my wife and kids would be at home, right? But
Mm,
there'll always be like a silly, like, of all the days, of all the things that could happen. Now I'm away from home, and all of a sudden there's no water, or
ish.
a power cut, not even load shedding, like a random. But I'm literally like a flight away. I can't just get in the car and drive.
Mm,
So when I'm traveling, I become even more, not paranoid, but you can imagine if I'm in New York, I'm at least like a 16-hour flight away, right? So psychologically, even though I'm there, it's New York, I'm having a good time, staying in a nice hotel, great meetings, shows maybe, but I'm always like, fuck, everything must just stay the way it is, Because the first thing I think about is
mm,
actually I'm quite far from home, you know. I don't know how many times I've traveled. So I can't imagine living there, right? And now you're told this town is shutting down, or like there's this flu, and literally nobody can fly anymore.
mm,
Nobody knows when people will fly again. What is the problem? Is it gonna get fixed? Because this is literally what happened with this COVID-19, right?
mm,
There was no warning. There was no, hey guys, in a month's time, no one will be able to travel. We're gonna close it. Not like that much in advance, or that literally most of us. I was in denial. I was gonna have my blacks only on the 5th of April,
mm,
and we went into the 2 week stay home, and then they announced the lockdown, right? Which
mm,
my show fell under lockdown. Now we were advertising already, lost hundreds of thousands of rand. So I don't know. I know very few people that may have prepared. Now you are in New York.
ish.
What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you're like, how long are you going to be here for?
Mm.
I can hear
I
the music in the background.
I told you I live next to my neighbors are
Mm,
Jamaican, so you know she bought 16-inch speakers because she's like, this is the new normal, right? So
yeah,
with social distancing and everything, I love how optimistic my neighbor is because, you know, she has a very positive
Yeah,
outlook on a lot of things. And I think that is what sustains me because I'm very much like that. You know, I believe in
yeah,
self-care. I believe in looking at the glass half full as opposed to half empty. So, in
yeah,
as much as I know the reality that I may possibly never see my family again, it's a possibility. Like, it's something
yeah,
that could possibly, you know, because you don't know. It's true. We don't know, you know?
yeah. I mean, it's just nuts, and but obviously, for instance, I mean, our lockdown was totally different to some extent. People were not allowed to have alcohol or buy alcohol. People can't buy
No, the
cigarettes.
liquor stores were open here. Here, they would never. They would never. They would never. No, they would have protested before this.
So, what kept you going during lockdown, like being in New York, and not
Yeah.
being home or being not being in South Africa?
I
And
now. Yeah.
what like what kept you going? I mean, obviously you were with your husband, right?
Yeah. So my
You
husband
don't have
was born
kids.
and raised here, right? And I
Yeah,
met him the second time around that I came to New York. And besides my husband and the endless calls with because my dad, when he sends a message, his first thing is always call me now. He doesn't say hi, how are you? Are you okay? Call me now. Okay, you know, as
yeah,
soon as I call him, you know, it's the conversations with him are always very enriching because, you know, I would consider myself a PK, a pastor's kid, because I grew up in the church because of my uncle. You know, like
yeah.
we would be those people that would spend 5 or 4 hours at church, not only cleaning but picking people up, helping them out, you know, old people, this, that, and the other.
I
um
was that guy at the Catholic Church in Kronstadt.
yeah.
My my grandmother used to do the laundry for the priests.
Yeah.
Make soup at home, take it to church. Those vibes.
You need to be chosen for that. I don't think it's just anybody that ends up doing those things because it takes a lot out of you. You know, like I used to drive to Kana, where's Mzwandile Masina from? What's that place? Ekuruleni. David, I think the call cut. I don't know what's happening. Hmm. Where is he?
I just got cut out of my own, bro.
Listen, Kimasa, somebody is just busy. People are busy out here, you know.
Guys, Natabulo iki 3 a.m., not 2
Yo, dude,
p.m., not like
yo,
10:30. I
listen,
don't know what happened.
with everything going on right now, nothing surprises me anymore. You know, if an earthquake had to, you know, break out right now, I'd sit and watch and just be like, you know, what's
Yeah, man.
next?
It
You know,
feels like that. Yeah.
it really does because I was just
Everything
at work.
feels like that now. Like, what could. So here's the funny thing, right? Obviously, we in lockdown, South African crime rate goes to zero, hospitals are empty, nobody's drunk and getting into accidents and fighting. And then we went into this level three on Monday. Alcohol is available Monday to Thursday. Yesterday, cash in transit heist in Kagiso. In KZN, four guys dressed in PPE, public protective clothing, masks, white coats, walked into a ShopRite Checkers, pension pay point, 200,000 Rand, no guns, no shots fired, nobody hurt, and walked out with 200 grand.
Just like that.
In 3 days of back to normalcy. Car accidents from Monday. Hospitals have doubled their casualties from the drunk people. But anyway, the last night we were in, the last night me and Songezle were in New York. we all went out with the usual suspects, I guess, when I'm in town. So I wanna introduce another friend of mine, guys, who's gonna join us. You can't go to New York and not meet her, or not see her, or not let her take you out to one of her favorite restaurants. She lived and worked in New York a couple of years, and now she's back home in South Africa, right? But she, we spoke earlier, and she said she was very worried about what's happening in the States. So please welcome my friend, guys. Her name is Mpakie. Hello. Hi.
Hey, how are you doing?
how, how are you?
How are you guys doing?
Do you remember our last night in New York when me and Songs were there?
Yes. Oh, where did we go? We were probably eating somewhere. Where did we go eat?
I think we went to eat, and then we went out for drinks at a. There's a place we went out for drinks, but I don't remember where it was. But like literally everybody was there. Musito came in.
We were
I don't remember the name of the place.
oh,
Belinda, do you
I'm trying
remember?
to think if it was. I'm trying to
Oh,
think. Um was it not we're meat packing? I want to say shit, what's the name of the place? Okay, I've completely forgot, blanking out of the name of the
Don't
place.
worry.
Um, I
Had
think it was
you?
Labane.
I think that was the first time you and Belinda met, right?
Where did we? Oh, where you were shooting something?
Yeah, that's when I was shooting South Africans in New York. It was around that time. But this was
Yeah,
the
so
night
that was
before.
closer to Times Square. That
I've
was
never,
closer to Times Square, but I didn't see
I didn't of,
Belinda.
no, I didn't officially meet Mpakie. Mpakie, I that night when you were shooting, um, I wasn't there.
No, no, no. You went there the night I was shooting, but that's the night me and Songs were leaving the next morning
Hmm.
when we all went out. There
Mm.
was a whole lot of us. But anyway,
Oh
so
yes, Nintendo and everyone. Yeah, I remember now.
Oh yes,
Mpakie,
yes, yes, yes. No, I'm
oh,
here.
now you remember.
In class. I'm in class. I'm in class. I remember. I remember. I remember.
I understand why you don't remember. It's okay.
Yeah, it's blurry.
Mpakie, you've been back home now for how long?
For as long as lockdown, and I think I arrived, and literally a week and a half, the pandemic started. I was like,
Oh my
oh, this is ridiculous. Yes, like this is
God.
crazy for me to leave New York like
Yeah.
exactly at that time. Loiso keeps on saying to me, Bagi, you need to literally slaughter some sort of sheep or something because your ancestors have your
I
back.
was gonna say,
How
well, now
can you
you have
just
a connection. I was going to say you must have a connection because you didn't just like come home for December. You worked in New York for like 4 years, right?
five?
5 years, and you tried to be
Yeah.
like, I'm leaving New York, and then you stayed in New York, right? And then you
Yeah.
came home, sort of maybe you're gonna go back, and then all of a sudden the world shuts down.
I mean, honestly, and Belinda, my story is ridiculous because the first time I moved to New York, 2 or 3 months later, my apartment burns down. So now that I So now I leave New York thinking, I just need to reset a bit, like I might go back, but right now I just need to reset my life. And I arrive, and then there's a pandemic. Like, I'm just like, what is this with my life? Like, what is this? No, it's actually just ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
But, we just roll with the punches now. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
How are you feeling with all the? I mean, yo, guys, I never thought in the middle of this pandemic, right? I would see what I'm seeing on CNN, on American TV, on WhatsApp, on social media, it's like there wasn't even an escalation. Hey, there
It
was
went from
like
0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah.
in the townships, but mpetsaka clap out low. When they're like slap me and you'll see, and then you slap the person, and then they say again slap me or you'll see, and then you slap, and then they're like slap me again and I'll show you, and then there was no there was some.
No, there was the thing. It's been boiling, and that's that. I don't know what you would say, Belinda, but I feel like it's literally, and you know this as well, David. Like it's been boiling for years, and I think with COVID-19 happening just this moment, this year, and has really made people kind of be still and focus on so many things. And then now this happened exactly again during this COVID time. It feels like people are now awake to basically take it all in and actually realize that, hey, something is wrong here and we need to fix it. And I kept on saying to my friends there, like, for me, I feel like I'm constantly reliving this thing all the time. Like we had this in South Africa, we still have it, you know what I mean, in South Africa. And so you feel like you're constantly like living this. You were dealing with it back home, you were dealing with it while you were there, but also it was happening back home, and then you were dealing with it there, and you know that there's something happening back home, so it's just like I don't know, like I don't know how you were feeling, but like I literally feel like I have a whole thing on my shoulders, and I'm constantly like stressed at the moment. And it's not even like COVID, but it's this particular movement that like we know our fellow people are going through over and over again.
Besides being women, right? Do you think being light skinned, you'd been treated different in the US?
You
Yeah, I would say besides just being light skinned, I think just being South African worked to my advantage because I worked at a private golf club in Westchester, and you know there were other African American people that worked there, but I feel, and the reason why I actually left my job last year, the reason why I chose to leave was because I did feel that, I'm treated differently from the other people of color. And fair enough, I'm from South Africa. Perhaps you have the qualification for the job, but there was just, if someone was there 25 years before me and wanted the position that I am walking into as a foreigner, there's a lot that's going to be coming at me,
Yeah.
So I think not just being light skinned, I wouldn't, I think that's part of it, but also just being from a different country altogether because we speak different. Like I mentioned before, we behave differently, our conduct. I remember having this, same discussion with my dad because he was like, yeah, so now what's going on with work now during COVID-19? And I was like, yeah, well, I'm allowed to be working from home, but it's just that I feel like it's unfair for some people because they are not getting paid. So it's like, there's just certain rules and regulations that are not, equal for everyone, and, for people of color hearing that and they're like, okay, so you just came into this country, so you have access to these things. Why? You know what I mean? It is unfair, so for me to have experienced some of these things,
Yeah. Sorry, you can
Yeah.
ignore the comments. I'll read them.
No,
Yeah,
I was
but
gonna say,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry. She says she's working on this, so she's just gonna listen.
no, I was gonna say it's one of the things that like I also noticed over a couple of years, over the years, that when you are like a black person or person of color,
Yeah,
um, in a particular country that's not your original country, when you go over that particular country, not when you grow up there. Like when if you basically move there when
Yeah.
you're a little older, there's definitely some sort of different treatment that you do get. You know, like I always say, like
Yeah.
the black people who are in a particular country are always just treated differently when they're outside that country. You know what I mean? Inside your own country, it's the same way.
Yeah.
If Black Americans, African Americans were to come to South Africa, white
I
people
treated
will treat
them.
them differently. When we go there,
Yeah.
if we go to America, we treat it differently. If you're a black person from London, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's just exhausting. You know what I mean?
Will
It's like you
will
don't like your black people in your particular country. You know,
will
like what?
will
You
this
know,
ever end,
so
guys? Will it ever end? So remember when I was there doing my show, right? I stayed in Connecticut, or as I tell my audience, connect the cat. So I stayed in Richfield, Connecticut. Connecticut, guys, it's like another state next to New York. So it's almost like Joburg and like Gauteng and Northwest, right? But it was like an hour, 30-minute drive for me, 90 miles, about 150 Ks. But specifically Richfield, where I was, and Connecticut is, to give the people watching an idea, Connecticut is where they shoot the TV show Billy. So it's that type of town, rich, white, old money, you know, like Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas live in Connecticut, outside New York. But people commute and travel to kind of come to New York or come to work. But specifically Richfield, where I was, the town we were in, the population of about 1,500 people. For like a few nights, I was the only black person in town,
Mm.
like constantly, you know. And when people, it's just them, they live their lives the way they want to live. It's not like they're gonna adjust or change or accommodate people that are not free, right? And then you've got cities like LA or New York or Atlanta where there's so many black people, but yet you still have all these racial issues that are happening, right? And you go to Germany, almost every black woman you see in Germany, almost every black woman you see in Germany is married to a white German. And they got mixed kids and they live there. And then we wake up and, South Africa, we win the World Cup today, and it's like there's no color. It's like nobody sees color, right? And then like 4 days is too long, bruh. Everybody's just too happy. And someone out there is gonna say something, someone's gonna use the K word, and everything just goes back to, what for most people is just the reality of, what, it is what it is. You're black, I'm I'm white, you're white, I'm colored, I'm Indian, you're whatever. You're white, I'm African American. Do you think it'll ever, like, I asked a comedian friend of mine, Ruben Paul, yesterday, you know, should African Americans be like, guys, you know what, let's just pack our shit and be out, you
I
know?
mean, I heard, I was watching an IG live yesterday with Tiffany Haddish, and she was saying the same thing. They're like, you know what? I've got all my money in a bag, and I'm ready to go to Africa. I want to go to Africa, and I'm like, wait, that's where I'm from. I came here to, like, I want to go back home. But yeah.
Have you thought of moving back to South Africa,
but
Belinda?
it's the thing.
No, go ahead,
Oh,
Mpakie.
sorry. You said what were you saying?
Now I was gonna ask Belinda if she's
No,
thought of
I was
moving
just
back.
Go ahead, Mpakie.
okay. Oh no, I was just going to say it's like sometimes I hear when everyone's like when Americans say African Americans say, oh, it's just time to go to like Africa or whatever. And
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, well, sometimes we also struggling here. There's nothing to do with like the majority, or the minority, the people that hold the power, unfortunately.
Yeah.
and the influence, unfortunately, economic power make the decisions, are still people who are conservatives and are still people
Yeah.
um, who still have the old mindset. So it's like, I don't know if it's going to be better, if
They pack
Americans,
up
like
again.
African Americans, come here,
Yeah,
yeah, and then to just answer the question of, do you think it's going to end? I mean, I think it will. I'm normally an optimist in any case, so
Yeah.
I think it will. It will just take time. We know that we saw with apartheid, it ended. Yes, you still
Yeah.
have the
The
different,
tension. Mm. Yeah.
the aftermath, of it all. Um, but like we constantly are getting better, and I think at some point it just will take time, unfortunately. But I think it will
Because
end.
you know when someone is learning how to drive and like they accelerate and they step on the brakes and stop and then they go again and then they hit the brake. It's like you said, like it's been bubbling, it's been boiling for a long time. So it's like literally now you can have a stats like every so many days a black man is gonna get shot by a white cop. It's almost like it's become like a norm, like a thing. Like it's just a matter of is it gonna be you, is it gonna be your black neighbor, or is it gonna be like some black South African that lives in New York.
mm. I
Mm.
think it also all begins with just
Yeah.
understanding that we need to change as individuals in the heart, because the constitution, the law can change, it can be amended. All of these changes can actually happen without people actually changing from within, because the only race that we should actually have is just the human race. That's where we've all fallen short. The fact that you're able
Yeah.
to say you're black and I'm white, and or I'm white, you know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, we are all human. You know what I mean? The
So with the looting, right, that started. Like I see now there's marches from Paris to Australia. I think I saw Pearl asking someone on Twitter if they know how to organize a march, Pearl Tusi. And again, you come to South Africa, there's going to be that one tweet. Oh, now they're trying to march because it's Americans. But when there was the guy in Alexandra, nobody said anything, or the celebrities didn't say nothing. Like it's like Mpakie said, even if African Americans came here, then it's just gonna be another South Africans versus African Americans. It's like another fight for whatever resources that there would be. But now with the looting, right? Because for me, I there's always that somebody gets shot and black people are like, "Well, this is nonsense," and black people come out and there's interviews and that person and comments on TV. But the looting for me was what made me like sit down and be like, okay, what's going on now? Because it's different from the last time. And at first it was like the Target guys is like a Pick and Pay or Shoprite Checkers, I guess. There was the Target supermarket, and then there was that Louis Vuitton store that the people literally walked past every other store in the mall and went to Louis Vuitton,
mm,
you know. And then there was white people also just now looting. Like most of the footage I've seen of people looting is white people. Like, and I don't know if you
Mm.
saw the
It
hashtag
just
that said,
destroys.
did you see the hashtag that said "Eat the Rich"? Like, eat the rich people.
no,
That was,
actually,
yeah, that was spray painted in one of the scenes. Mercedes Benz being looted, cars taken out of dealerships, some cars banned in the deal. Does that freak you out, Belinda?
well, I've also seen, images of people saying that, white people have been looting Africa for a hot minute, where, resources, our natural resources have been taken from us.
Yeah.
So I think with everything going on, like Mpakie had mentioned earlier, like this is like I'm not surprised. Today at Home Depot, which is also the builder's warehouse, since you guys
Yeah.
call it builder's warehouse at home, um 6 feet away, the guy, we were having a conversation about this whole riots and COVID-19. We're like, people are not even, COVID-19 is out the window now. People are looking at each other, or rather,
There's like thousands of people marching. Some are not even wearing masks. It's
and
like all of a sudden nobody cares anymore.
you know
But
and
there's this thing now.
you see, and this man is like, this gentleman that was actually standing in front of us was just saying, you do know these things come in threes. I was like, what is that even supposed to mean? Please don't jinx it. Like, there's enough going on. Don't come with your negative energy here. Get away. And he's like, really? Like, this is a buildup of something greater happening. There's something at work in this. And I didn't know about conspiracy theories and all these things until I actually got to America, and my
Yeah.
husband, informed me about, conspiracies and certain things like, Agenda 21. I was really clueless. I was oblivious to all of these things that are actually happening below the surface.
What's
I think,
Agenda 21? Are they gonna cut off my feed if we start talking about it?
listen, not all I'm saying is that Google's your friend. Do your research. The more reading we do and the more research we do, the more documentaries you watch,
What is it
knowledge
called?
is power.
Agenda 21.
Hey, now I'm
Because
actually, I don't even want to dig any further into it because it's true. Like, there are
but,
people
but
who can make people disappear out here, and I don't want to disappear. Not yet.
did did the guy say what is the third thing? So I'm assuming there's COVID-19 and then there's this
No, he did
whole.
not say what the third thing was, but what I was trying to get to over there is that there's so much more that could possibly, because at this point, because you didn't see this coming, what
Yeah.
more could possibly happen from here on after? If we continue doing this, what is our expected outcome? Like, I like looking at December 2020. What are we looking at? If we are doing whatever we are doing right now, what is our expected outcome? So if we keep on rioting, are we going to do it until the cops stop us? Because right now, like, there was a siren going off on my phone at like 7:30 that people need to be indoors.
The curfew.
There's a curfew. So now what happens?
Today.
There still is, but the thing is, like, I've been working from home,
Yeah.
so I'm a law-abiding citizen. I just try to do the right thing. If I'm going to be, protesting, I would want to do it the right way. I would much rather not be in cuffs and having my parents worried for me, acting wild. I want to know, I want to be informed. Like, with financial literacy from Riots, you were saying that Pearl Tusi was mentioning, how do you go about doing these things the right way? Because, talking about it, we've all been talking about it. It's been done before. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Mandela. Like, this is not the first time something like this happens.
Yeah.
What we need to do is just to obviously find out how we can better prepare ourselves for the expected outcome. If we want to bring this entire thing to an end, like, how are we going to go about doing this? I think people just need to be more informed and look into this thing, is as opposed, instead of just seeing the news and what the news is giving you. We need to be digging a little bit deeper into these things and finding out how, because you know if we are still having this conversation and still doing this, it obviously means that the change is coming, but it's just coming very slow. But we also need to be doing these things the right way.
You know how people always say black people are always forgiving, negotiating, even though the same people that they're trying to forgive and negotiate with always come back and never surprises them. And then we go back to the same shit. Um, do you think that has to do with how far do we go or how far we didn't go the last time, or this time? And that's why it's going to keep happening, or that's why it keeps coming back. Like, do you think, remember, okay, let's make an example of our own country. We all know we were about to go into like a bloody armed struggle of sort. And then there was the whole negotiations of everybody come down, let's just work something out, right? So is that contributing to where black people in America are now, for instance, where we probably are in terms of economic empowerment, or black people still being the poorest, the unemployed,
That's the
being
problem.
paid,
That's the problem. It's
you
not.
know?
It's
Is
not
it
equal.
because we didn't go in hard, or we don't go in hard when we should? Mpakie, are you the soft type?
I Um,
Are you?
I'm definitely the more medium type. If I'm not being heard, then I'm going to break shit. You know, if I'm not being heard, I'm going to be breaking shit. But like, but I think, listen, if somebody knew how to resolve this thing, I think we would have resolved this thing even in our own
Yeah,
country. And I think right now I haven't heard anybody who said this is the right way to do it and this is how we
yeah,
need to basically do it. Uh, right now, we're all doing what has been done in the past. You know,
yeah,
rioting. You know, like doing all these sort of protesting, all these sort of things. These are things that have been done in the past, and that's what
yeah,
we know. You know what I mean? And that's what we know how that's how we know how to move things forward. And so for me, I I can't say whether this is the right or the wrong way to do things because I don't know any other way to get like answers and to get
yeah,
the right things done. You know, because every single time we do something like a riot or like a protest or whatever, somehow we take a step, a little bit of a step forward. You know, it's not as forward as we would like, and then sometimes it's not sustainable. But that's what we basically know now. I've been seeing a lot of panels in the US
yeah,
that have been happening as well.
yeah.
I think there's something to that as well. But I just really wish with those panels we could have the people that are also in these
In
decision
charge,
in
right?
these places that that they make
Yeah.
decisions that are also be part of the can be part of the panels as well.
Because I was gonna say, I mean, I saw Obama crying in some press conference,
So
and obviously a lot of people are like, "But you were president for 2 years, for 2 terms, and this didn't stop." So like, then how is this gonna stop? Becky, would you consider going back to New York? Like, would you still consider even after this, or going back to the US for that matter?
yeah, I mean, I would always consider like for me, I still love South Africa. I still love my country. I also got to experience a wonderful, place like the US and like New York, and like any other country, it has its issues, it has its
Yeah,
problems. Um, and I would love to, I would definitely yes, I would definitely consider it because every single like country, there's no country that's perfect. There's no country that's perfect. We're not perfect here back home. They're not perfect there too, So yeah.
Belinda, are you gonna come back home? Do you wanna come back home?
I want to come back home. I'm kidding. Because every time I say, my husband gets chest pains because he's like, so what does that mean for me? What does that mean for me? I'm like, listen, in my father's house, there are many rooms, bro. Like, we not, I think South Africans generally, we are very open, people. So if anyone wants to flee, we've got land. So everyone can build their own little huts and we'll somehow make this thing work. But I would honestly, I was speaking to one of my girlfriends who's actually single, and she was saying, you know what, Belinda, I feel like it's harder for me because I'm single and I have no other family here. You at least have, David to lean on, and you have someone there to support you. I'm here by myself, I don't have a cat, a dog, or nothing. You know what I mean? and she says, I want to be on the next flight to South Africa immediately, you know, because right now I feel stuck, I feel trapped, you know, and I can definitely see where she's coming from, because I have David and I want to go home. You know, I want to, like, because it is overwhelming. It's a stressful situation, because prior to the rioting, it was COVID. So, like, all of this is happening back to back, you know? It's like, you know, in the midst of all of this, there is still, you know, coronavirus. So,
So Belinda, you're still working from home, right?
I am, thank God.
And how different what you're doing now compared to the previous job you left, for instance?
At the golf club, because I work right now, I work at Hudson Yards. So that's that new area, New York City, la di
Where
da.
Gary V's office is.
What is that?
Gary V's office is in Hudson Yards.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool. I love Gary Vee.
Because remember, some people can still work at home. You know, they're getting paid or whatever. Some of us are working from home. Nobody's paying us. And then, you know, Mpakie was literally transitioning from, I've quit my job, I'm taking time, I'm deciding what to do, and you know, she could stay home. She wasn't looking for work, really. And now all of a sudden, all of us were at home. And how does that change your situation, Paki, now? Like, are you still like, I'll still go out look for a job, or now it's like, oh shit,
Hi, baby.
Crazy. Crazy.
are you still gonna work for yourself, or you consider going back to work?
No, I decided, to really embrace the time. I decided to embrace the time. I think God knew that I probably was not going to take time out before COVID. I probably was going to go travel somewhere, blah blah, and not actually take the time that I said I'm going to take. So I feel like this COVID-19 basically was really a force to say, stay, focus, reset, like you said you're going to do, and do that. So I've decided to just basically capitalize on that,
Yeah,
enjoy the time. um, I am having different discussions with different people, but am I feeling like a sense of urgency? No,
yeah,
I'm not feeling a sense of urgency for now. I'm just enjoying the time, and because I just feel like it was just to COVID-19 is here to make us kind of relax a bit and stop stressing about what's going to happen in the future. So I'm just trying to enjoy the moment, chat to my friends, be with my family.
yeah. But now, so you guys realize, um, when we went into lockdown in South Africa, we had 54 infections in total, or 51. Today, new cases today, 3267,
800. Eh?
like a day.
What is it today?
New,
3267. It says 3267.
yeah,
Positive cases.
that's
Yeah.
just, and the schools were supposed to open on Monday, but they're gonna open next week.
I mean, I was trying to, like, did you hear Belinda? I was trying to understand whether is the curfew, because in the US and a lot of states have put the curfew, right? But I was trying to understand, is the curfew for
For the riot,
COVID-19 or
for
is
the
it
riot,
curfew for the riot?
it's for the riot.
It's for the riot, yeah.
Okay, nothing to do with COVID-19.
Nah,
So
it's
close
the
off
riot.
the country for the riots, but
Yeah.
don't close off the country for what basically was killing people.
It's part of Trump's "you loot, we shoot." You know, it came from there.
Yeah, that's Just another crazy one. Just another
Belinda,
Trying
crazy.
to fathom all of this is just bizarre. Like I'm just like you know what? If you think too much about this, you're gonna drive yourself nuts. Like, and that's why I'm proudly South African, because after a while, you just like, you know, I'm gonna put this to the side. Chisanya my guy, let me take out the grill. You know, I've got 2 pieces of chicken. I'm gonna put it out. I'm gonna enjoy just being outside, which is something that you mentioned earlier, Mpakie, just being optimistic, you know, like in the midst of all of this, I think the biggest thing to just hold on to is what you have. What do you have outside all of this as individuals? Because all of us could go from 0 to 100. If we all chose to riot, or if we all chose to go against this 8 o'clock curfew, you know, like
what do
at
you
some
miss?
point,
What do you miss the
at some
most?
point, you just have to take a step back and just, what do I
What
miss
do you
most about what?
miss about South Africa?
Um, I think I miss speaking vernac, because I do it a lot at work too. Like I'm in Hudson Yard, and like I really do like the communication between South Africans. Like something that I've realized is that we are very positive people. We generally are. It's just our nature, and also just how, you know, how we say we have African timing. We find that South Africans are usually late for meetings. Not just South Africans, Africans like you know what I mean? And I feel like right now is probably the time to take your watch and put it to the side and just be like, especially during COVID-19 as well, you know, in the time that we're all on lockdown, like, what are you going to be, you know, in a rush for? And something that I'm appreciating now about being South African is just that, you know, being able to communicate with my people and just having very little and just still being happy, you know, like, or having
Yeah.
shit hit the fan and just still being optimistic, you know, like
But I
that.
think this is what's killing us, hey? This is what I'm saying. I
It's
think this is
killing
the
us
problem with us.
that we don't
Shit
take
is
things
hitting the
serious.
fan. Shit is literally hitting the fan. And we're just like, is there another fan there? Yeah, which shit is this?
That's the thing. I think it's what makes,
How big is
you
this shit
know,
boy?
South Africans survive it.
What is
It's
it,
what makes South
Mpakie?
Africans survive it. I'm saying
So
it's what makes South Africans survive in New York, because we're always going, man, we've seen worse things, guys.
Hey,
We'll be fine. Okay. You know what I mean? We'll be fine. Like,
yeah.
so you have a roof over your head, you know, you have a job, you know, that's how we think as South Africans, you know what I mean? Like, you just always are thinking about, what do I have? And that, AI, man, we've seen worse things. We will be fine. We'll be fine.
Um so Belinda, do you know what is SBWL?
SPW, Mpakie, take me this. No, what's
Mpakie,
that?
can you explain it? Mpakie, can you explain SBWL?
Can I explain it? Well, I got to understand it when I arrived. I didn't know before as well. But yes, I'm hoping I'm not going to butcher this thing, because I heard about it when I arrived as well. So, you know, our Xhosa people always say, "Siyabawela," I think.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so Xhosa people always say, "Siyabawela," which means you feel like doing something. You know, I feel like this, or I feel like that, which means "Siyabawela." And so
Ngabawela.
apparently that's a shorter version of "Siyabawela." And people just
Yeah.
say "bow" or something.
So it's like
Um
khokhala, like khokhala.
Yes,
yes, the craving. Apparently it's like a craving.
yes, yes.
Okay, hold
That's
on.
the proper English word.
Okay, there's two friends of mine who a friend of mine is gonna join. I don't see him, but I see his number. I don't see his face. But Noktula, who's been
Ulomosiko.
here, see, Musito is stuck on the bridge. There's a march he went to, and they've blocked the bridge both sides.
We're going we're going to march on King Sunday.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, David said we should go out on Sunday. So yeah.
You must explain to your to the viewers. Your
Power to the
husband
people.
stayed.
Power to the
Okay.
people. Oh man.
Be careful. Be careful.
Absolutely. But like I'm thinking, my father, when I spoke to him, he's like, yeah, I'm just busy writing out my will. Feels like, push is coming to shove. And I'm like, why are you talking about your will right now? He says, you haven't thought about that? Like you're not even, your mind is not there. I'm like, well, Stupusaga, just cremate me, guys, and just throw me into the ocean. You know what I mean? Like at this point, and all my assets I've written, David is the beneficiary to everything. So, like the will and everything will have that,
Okay, I'm gonna let you guys chat to Noctula for like 5 minutes because I think she thinks you guys can help her with her career somehow. Hi, hello Noctula.
Oh my word. Hi.
How you doing?
I am so overwhelmed, guys. I'm so excited. Number one, Jackie Bonaka. Mo. So intellectually, no, oh my gosh. Now I'm gonna wake up. Wow, guys, I'm actually watching you the whole time since you
Thank
started.
you.
And yeah, man. It's a little born. Otherwise, right,
Nah, I'm
no
just
Good,
stress,
good.
no
Good,
complaints.
good. You're right.
Belinda, Belinda,
yeah.
Yeah.
Belinda, we are saying because Eish, Nana, Ratlakanta, 1 + 1 will be 2. It will make
I
sense
can.
there. That's what
Okay,
I,
and then Mpaki's Xhosa, right? Is this?
Jim Khosa kaloku.
Yeah. My my full name is
When eh, what's your full name?
Nombagamiso.
Oh, okay. Yes, Kau, thank you so much, man, for the platform. Firstly, I think when you started like Belinda, and then I had that Belinda or the relay PR, which is public relations management.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, girls, I'm also actually in that career. But through UNISA and stuff. So now I'm busy with my honors in media studies. So how so go New York? I'm like, oh my gosh, New York, you know, you never know. Motagana ya go, akibabo Belinda baliting. So yeah, so go umpile your handle. I'm gonna try actually and follow you there, and then we can take it from there. I'm so excited.
Have you ever worked in PR or have you always been
Not
studying
not 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 exactly. So the company that I'm in now, I'm in FFP. You know, so I'm actually
Financial
doing there,
Services
which is I'm
Board?
more like in the marketing and sales consultant. So sorry, dear.
The Financial Services Board.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm more in marketing and sales side, but actually, I would really like to be like who I exposed more PR. So I've done some actually projects, but it's not actually the full time miracle way. Actually, I would say, look here, now I'm a PR practitioner. So which is
Okay.
the reason why now I was actually looking to actually hook up labor to Babel Gangoa, so it can be actually easy for me to actually market myself and stuff. Wow.
No, you should. I mean, see, for me, there's nothing wrong with literally what we've just done now.
Mm,
It's not planned, but
mm.
if you think chatting to Belinda, one or two DMs, maybe an email changes your life for the better, that's just
Yeah,
amazing.
man.
Mpakie is
Yeah.
under. Mpakie is under. Maybe I'm underselling her because I was just like, we're gonna talk about Black Lives Matter, but Mpakie is like a fucking, like a super, like a,
Ke
she's like a
barata bali too,
superhero in
actually.
what she does. She's like a superhero
Ke
in
bar-
what she does.
yeah.
wa umpaki bathong hle ke kopa o ncheck ke re o bone lebitso la ka ke mang mo o ska nna nyamella le wena Belinda.
Let me tell you what Mpakie has done. Some of the things she's done.
Okay.
She was the Smirnoff brand manager in the States.
On o tla nketsa ke thuthumela ka now I'm gonna shake. You know,
But
when you speak with also so well le dikhoko le bo gabaji, and then there's a whole thing and saba well. Guys, I had you guys discuss saba well. Do you know what saba well means?
Mpakie was trying to explain it to Belinda. Yeah, I had to ask because I saw it on Twitter and it had to be
What
explained to
what
me.
what did Mpakie say? What did Mpakie say?
It's like a
I
craving when you
said
say,
it's like a
yeah.
craving, yeah. Like a Xhosa word
Yes,
is
but
siyabawela.
yes, thank you so much, Mpakie. Xa usithi only amaXhosa. So bo Belinda liboka, they can't say saba. They must say uh
what is Tswana now? Tswana or Sotho? It's when you crave something in Tswana is kalara. No.
Hala.
Ukhala.
Ukhala. No, but can't say there's another word. There's another Tswana word, not hukhala. What is hulara? If you lara something, what is hulara?
Lara.
Yeah, it's craving. Ukhala. Ukhaletse something. That's what it is. It's the right word.
So hulara who write if kisebedisa hulara.
Yeah. Ularetse something.
Then that means luna he haliri saba well. Liri luna he sa larel.
Larel.
Yeah, salarel.
Salarel. Okay.
So before you go, Noctula, just so you understand, these are my names or some of my names.
Okay.
My grandmother is Xhosa and she gave me a Xhosa name. So ndiyathetha ndiyakwazi kuthetha mna. Ndiyakwazi kuthetha mna.
Nyani tana.
And then ndafunda eKapa shem.
Bengicela ubuza ke now that wafunde eKapa. Mna ndilapha eKapa. Ubufunda phi eKapa? Mamela ka ndiseKapa mna ne. Ubufunda phi eKapa?
UCT.
Okay, fine. Apha eKapa was indawo yeyiphi lokishi oyaziyo? Ungathi Khayelitsha, ungathi Khayelitsha kawo.
Gugulethu.
Oh, nako Nkosi. Bendikolwa nje Gugulethu. Okay, so uyathetha isiXhosa?
Yathetha mfondini ngidala ngijola eKapa.
Do you ever make jokes ngesiXhosa though? No.
It depends. If I'm in the Eastern Cape, yeah. If I'm in PE or if I'm doing a show in East London and there's Xhosa people that I need to say something to.
All right, that's nice. Now can I just ask umbuzo ku Belinda? Belinda?
Yes, darling.
Now that you're saying that you've been in New York for so many years, like if I had right, you said you left when you were 20.
No, she's been there.
I've been in and out, darling. Like you see the break Mpakie's taking now. That I've been non-stop in my career for the longest. So this is overdue. Like COVID-19 came at the right time because some of us don't know when to stop.
Hey, that's COVID. Yo. I even more Cape Town. Cape Town it's bad. Yeah, yo. Mo bima. Hore how tshwara fela trolley we a foot.
Yeah, you guys
strong. Come on, it's bad.
You can lock down and all these things. You blacks are gonna Pick and Pay, 59 employees at some Pick and Pay, guys. They had to close it.
Oh my goodness. Yes, even at the mall that I'm around, I'm not sure if probably maybe you will know, but Tukai, which is Blue Route Mall.
Yeah.
Clicks Day was closed, Checkers was closed. I think there was actually Food Lovers that was closed because of the same into now usiras. Thinking how bully we. One time real level 1, if you perish, you perish.
So Noctula, you're gonna follow.
Yes, go.
Belinda, and then you can follow.
Say that again, go.
You're gonna follow Belinda.
Before you know, people won't believe you when you say you were speaking to these people. They're like, oh no, Baba never said check. Emanya. Mpakie, atamela, you are fast. Sondela Mpakie.
Oh, Sunday.
Bells, come closer.
Okay.
Happy believe. Oh my gosh.
Bye.
Research. Thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna still listen. Thank you so much, man. Bye.
Belinda, do you still have time? Do you have to go? Because this shit might not end, just so you know. This can go on for some time. Okay, I'm gonna add another friend of mine.
Okay.
Hey man. Unmute yourself.
You unmute, yeah.
What's up, guys? What's up, Belinda?
Another. Must I even say you're like another South African living in New York?
Oh, the
No,
disrespect.
he's
The
lost it.
disrespect.
He's lost
Yeah?
it. He's lost it. He's lost his citizenship.
I'm South African through and through.
Are you getting that? Are you getting both? Are you gonna go dual?
I am a dual citizen. Thanks to your cousin.
Don't say that here, man.
No, I'm a dual. No, why would I want my kids to just be raised by Trump, Joe?
Have you ever felt like that's it? I wanna go back to South Africa. Like, have you ever had that moment? I mean,
Yeah,
you've been there
think
for 20 years. You've been there for 20 years, right?
During this epidemic, yeah, I have. I've actually been like, fuck this whole thing. And on top of that, with everything that's happening, it just felt like, I just need to go back home. Prior to that, though, I felt like I could do both countries, like do 6 months in SA, do 6 months here.
Yeah.
But now,
But I mean,
fuck it. I need to go back to Soweto.
I went to Soweto today with OG for the Princess Charlene of Monaco Foundation thing we're doing with OG. There's no social distancing in Kasi.
No, come on. What rules have Sowetans like ever followed? Why do you think everyone is still mad at them for ESCOM? But it's not our fault.
It's
Yeah.
Rules
but
are
guys,
not for. Yeah.
it feels like something is going to get us. It doesn't matter where you go, where you are. Something is going to get us.
But
if you come to South Africa,
winter hasn't really hit South Africa yet. Do you feel that
No.
once winter hits, like proper, that it will change people's mindset, or am I just
for
like
me,
making it up?
I think it's it's like HIV. When first HIV happened, people had that attitude of, I don't know anyone who has this thing. It's bullshit. It's a conspiracy. When I was growing up, people used to say white people take syringes and put AIDS in oranges, and then next thing you're like a child and you're like, I don't want oranges anymore. There were all this weird shit that now there's 5G and Corona. You guys didn't know that shit. You guys didn't know this stuff.
I wish.
You didn't know the story of AIDS and syringe and the lemon and the orange.
What?
That whole 5G theory like has some legs for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like that 5G theory, everyone like was actually all about it for 2 weeks.
So it's the same thing now with this COVID, until someone knows someone. I mean, Mpakie, for us, it was very close, another comedian friend of ours, his wife's mom died from COVID. About just Ndumiso's wife's mom. Ndumiso Lindy's.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Faith's mom, yeah.
And that was like proper, like no degree of separation, like you literally calling someone you've known like almost 20 years, and you're like, dude, I'm sorry about your wife's mom. I'm sorry about, your mom-in-law, And on top of that, remember we were in lockdown there in Joburg. She was in Cape Town. Whenever last they saw her, that's it. That was the last time they saw her. And now they have to drive to Cape Town.
Right.
And now you're like, yeah, no, shit. It's happening, So you decide what you want to do with those conspiracy theories, and so see how Musito says he's stuck on the bridge and he went to a march.
He's been stuck on the Brooklyn Bridge for the last like hour.
Is it gonna
Thankfully,
end? Or is it?
Yeah, I mean they have to let them through, isn't it? Because like in about 2 hours or so, it's it's basically curfew. So yeah, they have to. Slowly, I think. I saw it on his post. Slowly they letting them through.
Is public transport running? Are the trains running?
Yeah, I think Belinda can probably say. I don't know if you in New
Well,
York, right, Belinda?
yeah, but I mean, I commute to work. I haven't been to work since March 15th, and I haven't been on any public transportation since.
Just
So,
Uber.
I think the
Been
trains
on
are
Uber.
different.
That's about it.
Nothing, David, nothing. These two can testify. New York didn't close anything except like not allowing people into restaurants. I mean, this is why we're sitting with the numbers that we're sitting with now.
Well, yeah, that and yeah. I mean, trains didn't really stop because of some of the essential workers, but also at the same time they cleaning them out and like every week. But I could never tell you a first-hand thing because I don't take the train. So, but Ubers are running nice.
Are you gonna? Will you fly as soon as they say you can fly? I think they've started flying, right?
Oh, I'm trying to book a flight to St. Lucia, Bob.
You're not afraid, bro.
I am and I'm not. I think like I am afraid, obviously, but also the desperation is also pushing me to get the hell out for a little bit, for my sanity.
Yeah. I don't even, for me, right, because the lockdowns happen different in different countries. Africa was obviously one of the last places where people started, even if they even bothered going into lockdown, Botswana went into a lockdown. Lesotho went into a lockdown 2 weeks before us. When we were in self-isolation, Lesotho went into total lockdown. They came out of lockdown about 2 weeks ago. But also, it's like you could say they have almost zero cases, but there was a time they had only tested 30 people, like maybe even a week ago. But
yeah, I was about
because
to say,
of that country opening and that one's going to open first, we might have to consider. I mean, for me to sit here, I'm thinking in South Africa, I won't be back on stage. November would be last, I'm even expecting December. See, are you typing?
And I'm like, I'm not. I'm looking at you.
Since you came here,
There's some sort of noise that's happening, Sia.
It's since Sia arrived.
See, now that you're mute, you can't hear it. Every time you go off mute, you can hear it. Is maybe somebody's phone might be linked to the laptop, maybe?
I think it's Sia.
Now you're on mute.
If you are charging your phone, the volume goes into the laptop.
Yeah, or you type whatever your phone, if your phone is linked to the laptop.
Yeah. Nah, man, you guys must come home.
You're on mute.
I'm on.
Sia,
Oh,
mute.
Sia. Shit.
You're on mute.
You can't hear him. Here we go.
I had it.
David had muted me.
Had it. Sorry.
Am I still on mute?
No.
No.
Now you're back.
No. December, I think, is the goal to come back home. That's if Cyril like opens up the gates for us, though.
I'm hearing that it's only going to open in January.
Do you think the numbers are being exaggerated?
To show that the family member died. What
The
is
numbers have
that
been
comment?
that
That comment just went exactly to what you were saying about like the AIDS epidemic, David.
Yeah.
Like about the whole like families are disputing. It's like as though it is, and it's not even like this is a bad thing to be if someone passes away of COVID. Like it's not a shame. It's you got sick and you passed. Like to keep coming with theories that like COVID is some sham or whatever is just dangerous.
Another thing I'm hearing is that people are also now not revealing what the person died of because they're afraid that people will now start will start kind of
Yeah.
yeah, which is just also crazy. See, yeah, there's another more typing happening.
Yeah.
There's more typing happening. Somebody is texting.
It's CS connection, guys. Sia usitholela siblokile. Kumnandi.
Yes, yes. I'm
Have
trying.
they opened the golf courses yet?
Yeah, they have.
You haven't
But they
played
have
yet.
like strict rules, so you cannot show up to the golf course more than 15 minutes before your tee time. You're not allowed a caddy at all. Like my golf club, I think we're probably one of the few clubs that are actually serving food, but you only get it in the halfway house, and only
Take out.
and only some cocktails are allowed to be ordered. But
What?
so changing rooms you're not allowed in there. So you go straight from your car to the golf to your tee box. Once you're done, you get the hell out of there. You go straight to your to your car. It's basically the same with I think with soccer right now that since it's come back, like they're not allowed to really shower there. They can go into the changing room and obviously change, go onto the pitch, but never showering there. Like you go in, get dirty, get in your car, and go shower at home.
Belinda, have you been out in public places like a restaurant or takeaway place?
Yeah, just take out. Like most restaurants are open right now. Like everything is pretty much back to the new normal. But I mean, we've had takeout. I'm very conscious of it. Like I'm not oblivious to the fact that, COVID-19 is still pretty much because I know people who have died. So, it only becomes real to
From
you
COVID?
once what?
From COVID-19?
Yes. From
Are you
coronavirus. So
serious?
like
Are you
the lady that does my hair before, because I was in South Africa for the month of December. She did my hair before leaving South Africa. She's gone. She had cancer like she had, she was holding on, but she's not with us anymore, you know. And the last time I saw her, she's like, "Hey, Yazi, I almost, died. Like I've had cancer." And I was like, "Yo, Sis Nelly, are you serious?" She's like, "Yeah, like and that was the last conversation I had with her. I was like, "Thank God that you're still alive because you're doing my hair." Woo! But just jokingly, and now she's gone. My hairdresser here in New York, her son passed away. He's what, 16, 15? He died too. So it becomes real when you've seen these people and then they gone. She fought it before, but now she's gone. And I mean, Craig, my hairdresser in New York's son, he was also like hanging on. I mean, he was sick, but she was taking him to treatments, doing all the right stuff. She was doing everything, and he's gone.
Mpakie, do you know anyone? Is there
I
anyone
know,
you
two people who have recovered. I don't know anyone personally who has died. I just know. Remember the faith I told you about? You mentioned. best friend, who's my friend as well, her aunt passed away. But they all had,
Hi,
prior
Roland.
illnesses, so as well. But nobody like very close to me that I am aware of.
It's scary. Eh? It's the weird thing is when you're home and you're in lockdown, it's like it's out there, you know. And when we went into lockdown, you didn't have it. Your kids don't have it. Your wife don't have it. And then your friends didn't have it. We last played golf, and then we went into lockdown. You know, we only leave when we go to the shops. So now, when you see people, naturally people would just feel like, Mpakie didn't have this thing 2 months ago, and she seems fine. We're sharp, you know. And people are getting back into just normality. And like, if I'm with Mpakie, I can take off my mask, or she doesn't have her mask on. And then if it's someone you don't know, or maybe a stranger, then you wanna put your mask on.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's also a little bit of it's a mind exercise. It is
yeah.
just the weirdest time, right? Like,
I can't imagine how it is now in New York, in that um, the the city itself is based on the buzz. The city itself is based on the restaurant scene, theater scene. It's literally everything that the city is all about is closed or is now being limited. So I cannot, for me, like think, oh my God, how is the city itself doing? I know I know people um, who are like advocates of New York. Absolutely, like they will kill for that city, and they're saying no, I don't want to go back. They are in Florida, for example, or in different parts of the U.S. and they're like, no, I don't want to go. That's not the New York I know, and that for me is like super interesting. I just can't imagine how it is right now when you take away what the city is all about, and like what are you left with now, that like those things that basically make the city what it is all
for, you know, for me, it's similar to when 2011 happened.
nine
Um,
11. Yeah.
I mean, 9/11, right? When 9/11 happened, I had been in New York maybe like 2 months, 3 months before that. You know, and if you take a taxi, you're gonna go past
I'm coming
where
now.
the Twin Towers were on your way to the airport. Like the cabs would take that route
Mm,
or whatever, you know. And then like a few
mm,
months later, you're sitting home, you're watching TV, and you look at this place, you look at this buildings, and you're like, I was there like a few months ago. I mean, I was in New York in November, you know, and January, December, January, this thing starts happening. And then the death toll thing just started happening, you know, almost like shifting from China to New York. You know, Daba Mandela is like, yo, I've got the Rona, I've got this thing. And we're like, what the fuck, you know? And then you've got, I think Kweku, another friend of mine, had just gone back to New York. And then you're just
mm.
like everything was different 2, 3 months ago, you know? So it's, and then, so, I couldn't even watch like a normal TV show during lockdown, right? Because outside there's no cars on the streets, everybody's home. So when I watch American TV shows or like even a movie and I see people outside, it felt so weird to me because it's like we're totally living in another world, you know? And now obviously going back to shoot, some of the South African TV shows have gone back and started shooting. One had to shut down yesterday because someone was infected or they found out someone is tested positive, right? I think it's The River or one of the soapies that Patu, Makwarela, and them are producing. So remember South African TV and how they shoot. Some of them were already running out of episodes. I think Uzalo definitely is even off air or whatever on SABC because they would they would have to have been shooting all this time for the episodes to keep coming, right?
Mm.
And now people have to go back to work. Guys, you don't understand. Like a friend of mine, Mapaseka Kwetle, who's on Scandal, they can't even rehearse together. You rehearse, you learn your lines on your own. Once you're on set, you can run your lines like once or twice, and then you have to shoot. But in your room by
What about
yourself, huh?
what about the series? Like, so I'm not a series person. I'm so bad at it. What about the ones in the US? Are they shooting?
I mean, a friend of mine was shooting for Netflix in Nigeria, and they shut it down, and he had to come back. And they're not expecting anything sooner than October.
That's what I thought too. That's what I heard. Like,
Yeah.
nobody's basically shooting episodes.
There's a British series shooting in Cape Town that's planning or about to start shooting, but the conditions are so Mpakie, there's an 18-page terms that the South African film industry has to adhere to, right? If you're taking public transport, you have to wear a raincoat. You arrive at work, you take it off and you hang it wherever before you pretty much like come inside the building or the office. So it's almost like, you have to assume you've got corona on you somewhere, right?
Yeah.
That must be sanitized. Take off whatever, get sanitized, do the temperature thing. If your temperature is normal, you come in, right? You can no longer, you can't have more than 3 people chilling together on set. No more buffet allowed or food. Every food now has to be packaged individually, right? Makeup artists must each have outdoor gazebo, one makeup artist, one person. Every
Oh,
actor must have every actor must have a makeup brush of their own. If you have an intimate scene, you have to find a way to cheat it without. I'm like,
what?
but I'll send it to you.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
can you imagine? Our costs when it comes to
Yeah.
making movies, the money we don't
Mm.
have, the budget cuts we have to deal with, and now someone has to now pay for separate gazebos for every actor and then different makeup artist, one actor per makeup artist in that gazebo. Not like you can have a room inside. It has to be outdoor. Those are the rules. It has to
Wow.
be in an open. It's crazy. I mean,
I
and
spoke to, I was,
South African,
I had spoken when the COVID-19 pandemic started. I remember speaking to a friend of mine. He works in London and he's in investments and stuff. And I sit and I asked him, like, how bad is this? He's like my economist. I'm like, how bad, is this? And he said to me, this was still at the beginning, and he said to me,
yeah,
if you think of any economic crisis that we've basically been through, just literally times it by 30, times it by what it is, nothing. It will be nothing compared to like it will be insane.
yeah,
So and I'm seeing those effects based on exactly what you're saying, like and all these different other industries, the hospitality industry, all industries,
yeah.
everyone is just basically affected. And he was like, it's literally like it's this is like the first of its kind, probably in like 200 years or something.
Mm.
Yo, guys, it's I hate being like the prophet of doom because promise you, Belinda, I'm telling you, when we went into this thing, bruh, all of us were like, hey guys, it's cool. I think people bought alcohol, people had enough, or people thought they had enough. In the beginning, it was like a bit of a holiday for some people.
Mm.
And so the first 3 weeks, every day, like I was shooting for Instagram, shooting for Twitter. I started shooting for my YouTube channel, which I hadn't done since the last time I was shooting South Africans in New York. So almost 2 years, right? I've neglected my YouTube channel. Now I started remembering I need money.
Yeah. Kwanyewa.
Oh my God, guys. So the first 3 weeks happens. It's like, yeah, whatever, you go to the supermarket or meet your friend, bump into a friend, or you can be like, hey man, I'm also going buy groceries or yada yada. Hey, and then at the Brazil announce the extra time. Extra time was announced for the 2 weeks. Pakistan, there'd be times you like wake up and like 11, you're still like, do I get out of bed? Do I, should I? Yo, Belinda, and then the alcohol thing starts. People are calling you and trying to buy alcohol from you and asking if you have alcohol. And then the politics started, the court cases began. And then there was the levels, right? Went into level 4. Then the cigarette thing became an issue. Then everybody was now going to court, taking government to court, like everyone. The provincial government, the freaking, cigarette people, private people. Like and I think that's what's gonna get to South Africans because again, like the World Cup, everybody loved the ANC. Well, the president, was doing an amazing job. This was South Africa 60 days ago, right? 64 days ago.
Yeah.
Bruh. 5 weeks later, yes, sis. And then those memes, depicting Nkosazana Zuma as an ape are flying around because she's stopping you from buying cigarettes. And now, Black Twitter, let's find this guy, let's find this white person. Oh, this is the one who said this. And I promise you guys, then we were just back to just like that. It was like, we're back, champ. We're going back to the usual South Africa that we know, that we live in.
Yeah.
But the reality is, in terms of the economics, the money, the savings, it's only gonna begin because now people are like, my company was happy to pay me for 1 month, but now the second month is like, ish, we can't. The first month was okay. Then there was the 30% less salary stories. Now the landlords are like, hey man, the government is like, you can't be evicted, but the landlord is like, hello, I need money for rent, or otherwise I'm gonna lock you out. So for you, Mpakie, to say like your economist friend said to you, this is like 50 times worse than whatever, and I feel like we are about to get in it in South Africa.
Oh, we're about to. We haven't even. I think, in fact, nobody has actually gotten into it yet. I don't think, because remember, there's still like countries are only now kind of opening up like their countries, and then on
Yeah.
top of it, they're saying that there's also going to be a wave 2 as well. So we have not even reached the peak numbers that they told us.
No.
They said to us, we're going to be reaching the peak in August, September. We
That's
in
why I
June.
said I've written off my stand-up comedy career
Yeah,
until
we are in June right now, and if you're saying our numbers are going to peak in August and September, and is that part of wave 2 or is that still wave 1? Like, I don't even know anymore. You know what I mean? Like, so
Dr. Yes back.
Welcome, Sia.
The disrespect. Yes, sis.
And comes back
Yeah.
totally different quality of sound, quality of
No
picture.
noise.
Yes,
You
sis,
go
boy.
buy a new
It's-
phone. You go buy a new
yeah.
phone. You go buy a new phone.
I keep getting told that. Oh,
Mhm.
Yeah, where do we go? What do we do from here, bro? I've literally, guys, I leave my house and I go find something to do, and it must pay me, even if I have to leave and make. Where we go?
what's
Is that Belinda?
It's here.
No, it's
and
not
what's it
yeah,
new? Scott?
Mpakie, it's not yeah, like shame, you know. This poor
Thank
guy.
you, Belinda. At least someone's in my corner. Yes, yes.
Sorry. Wrongfully accused.
Where is it?
Ah,
No, I told you my neighbors are Jamaican, so they living, man. Like they living over this. I'm telling you, she got speakers. She says she's going to have a pool here. She's setting up her new normal. You know, she's trying to. She's like, if I can't go back home, I'm gonna bring home here. I'm gonna make this as comfortable as possible. So, yeah.
I'm gonna add someone just before we finish, yeah, guys. I wanna
Mm.
add Akosua Putimelo Tsele. What the fuck? She just left.
Dude, it is close to midnight there. That's why.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it is actually.
it's
Yeah,
5 to
And yeah,
midnight.
I am like eating, like close to midnight.
it is
It's
still
5.
it's still work days.
What are you doing for the rest of the day, Belinda?
We're gonna barbecue
You're
actually.
going
Hey?
back to the bar,
Yeah,
the barbecue.
the barbecue. Yes. Different-
What are you
Hudson.
doing?
I mean, I just ordered some Jamaican boy,
Yeah.
and about to go and like go to the yard and just chill there. Oh wait. Okay, I mean I ordered ribs, not Jamaican. I ordered ribs.
Or you ordered ribs from a Jamaican
Keep
place.
saying. Yeah, and just take a few bottles of wine to the yard.
Living the dream.
There's no corona then.
Yeah, no, but like, it's 6 feet apart, Bob.
I told you, David. I told you. Nothing closed there. Nothing closed.
Nope. Our liquor stores are doing so well, bro.
That's a
Nothing
fact.
closed.
Like
You
they
should have
doing
seen
so well. Like it's insane because everyone's at home, so they feel that like they're not spending their money on any other things. So as pools a song.
Amazon too. Amazon.
Amazon as well. Yes, some of the
On the
useless
stock
things like
market
we've
right
all
now,
ordered.
yeah. Amazon is
Well,
killing
he's
it.
apparently reaching to become like a trillionaire now, Jeff Bezos.
I mean,
But
yeah,
that's crazy.
So he's doing something right.
he can afford another mistress, so it's all good.
And leave another half.
Yeah.
One of the dumbest moves ever by a brilliant man.
No, guys, you don't know if it was something that it was his decision to do that. Nobody know. Maybe it was his decision, feeling that, this woman was here from the beginning, and she actually deserves half. You know what I mean? Like,
He
Mpakie,
wasn't gonna miss that $1 billion though either.
Mpakie,
So it's like
if I had 140 billion US dollars, you will all be my wives.
I'm sure. I'm
There will
sure.
not be
it's
one
true.
who
I'm
lives with.
sure.
There will not be one who lives with 60 or 40.
Eish, yeah.
Why? We are guys.
Oh,
Elon Musk,
Yeah.
he's the one that definitely would never I would never do that. That one, I don't. I feel like even like even if the person was there from the beginning, I just don't trust him. I feel like that one will be like, nope, that's not, that's not gonna happen.
Why?
It's
Because
it's
it's
not
South
our
African.
money. Probably that too.
No, I think Elon Musk would probably lose the money the night before intentionally. Like he would start
Yeah.
another, he will start another business the night before, the day you say
Yeah.
you are leaving that night.
Dude, he'll probably be smoking the night before and just lose everything on purpose.
No, I don't know. I don't know the story of the wife with Jeff Bezos and stuff. But that's why I'm saying maybe he just felt like she deserves half. Maybe.
This is what Belinda. Why do you look like you're actually in the Caribbean or something?
She's
What is
having
that?
barbecue with her Jamaican neighbors.
No, I'm not. Actually, I'm having my own little thing.
He's having your own barbecue.
Yes.
Yes, as you're living.
Listen, I could be cooking, okay? It will be the same thing. I'd be cooking behind the stove, but I'd much rather be outside, not in the kitchen, depressed behind a stove.
Where are you
Cause
now?
I'm home. I'm in the living room.
Oh, okay.
no, because I said to
I
her,
just moved from outside because they're turning up the music, so I didn't. Like my neighbor was like, "When are you getting off the phone?" Like,
nah, we'll let you go. We'll let you go just now. But guys, yo, take care of yourselves, eh? Belinda, yeah. Not New York for me. I'm like, yeah. How many
Boy,
people?
you'll be here soonest, no?
Yeah. So my plan, Mpakie, I was planning to be there just after the April Blacks Only. I was on my way. That was the
Right.
plan to come back to New
You
York.
know, we had just played golf and we were talking about it too.
Guys, I've never seen plans go to shit so quickly.
Oh,
I've
I
never.
mean, everyone's plans. We were meant to be in Morocco right now.
mm,
And nope, like literally that, like we just canceled like everything. Before the COVID-19, we were planning a family trip to Bali. Nope, that's like gone out the way. That's why I was saying like when I decided that when I realized that we're having a pandemic right now, I just basically decided let me just be one with the resting because this is just too crazy. If you're gonna keep thinking, oh my God, we could be doing this, we could be doing that. I was like, no, I can't anymore. I
mm.
can't. We have to just embrace what's currently happening now.
Sia, did you get your $1,200?
Yes. No, I did not. I don't qualify, sadly.
What's
Mpakie,
the
did you
$1,000
No,
for?
I didn't put in. I'm too lazy, you know.
The government gave everyone 1.2. The US
Yeah,
government.
everyone got
Oh,
1,200.
Relief, whatever
Only,
money.
but there's levels to it, right? If you make a certain amount, you get 1,200, and then if you make too much, you get like 600, I think, or something. Yeah, you can't go over 150 grand. So
Um,
yeah, there's levels to it. So everyone does
Belinda, did you
qualify,
get some
but
money?
it like you qualify
I
for a
wish I
certain
did.
amount. Yeah, they do like $600. You can.
Everybody under $150,000 a year. That is not everybody.
Everyone under 150 grand.
Thank you.
I've been
That's,
corrected.
It's accurate.
that's how much?
What do you mean? That's how much? In
Or is that the
rands?
qualification? Less than 150, you get in the 1.2.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
That's a
Hi,
lot
guys.
of money. You know?
It is. It is. For like, stay home. Don't go anywhere. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wait. Come on,
Considering
yeah.
considering that you're not commuting and doing all these other stuff because retail stores are closed.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
No, Belinda, you must go back to the prime.
Ish, I'm gonna leave and love you guys. It's 2 hours. It's been 2 hours.
I know. I know. I asked you for an hour. This is the problem with unemployment, not working for anyone, unkept data.
You can go
Living
on.
the dream. Living the dream.
I think
No,
my wife
point.
is starting to get pissed off with me because the TV shows we watch together, right? Or some we started during lockdown. So we found because we've watched almost everything. So we started watching
What
Black
you
Light.
said, what, yeah.
We started watching Black Lightning.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know it either.
We started
You
like a
are
superhero,
wasting your time.
because we watched all the others, Supergirl, Arrow. We watched everything. I've watched all the Marvel ones. So Black Lightning, we finished, I think, like last week, Thursday or Friday, and then season 2 was starting on Monday. They watched 4 episodes without me yesterday because I was. So now I'm out of the loop. We can't
Hours
watch
was telling
that
us.
together.
Hours was telling us about a thing called Rami or something.
Rami is very good. It's on Hulu.
It's on Showmax here in South Africa.
Oh, I saw I think I saw an episode on Showmax.
It's funny.
Apparently it's good.
I've seen his stand-up. I think his first stand-up special or something. It's quite funny because it's like a mixed or Middle Eastern, living in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Egyptian. Is it? Yeah, Egyptian guy.
Yeah, Egyptian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, Egypt, Middle East.
Same. They don't even consider themselves African anyway.
Guys, someone made the calculation for the US $1,200.
Ish. Sad.
Like what? 350.
Ah.
And the $1,200, is it dependent on state or is it just everyone?
Is it depending on whom?
On state.
Yeah, it's from the state.
No, it's national.
Oh,
okay. Okay,
it's
so everyone. So I mean that's also like questionable, right? Because $1,200 in New York is very different to $1,200 in Arkansas.
Right.
That's why I'm asking the question.
That's true.
Is it like
That's
a national?
True. It's still money though.
Mm.
No, it's a lot of money, guys. 1.2 right now. $1,200.
Yeah, but it's different.
You don't need it. Apply and just put it in my PayPal account. Apply, but use my PayPal account.
PayPal account on.
You must say hi to David, ne?
I will. Let me leave and love you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming and saying hi and meeting Noktula. Good luck with Noktula, eh?
Hey, re tla bona ko pele.
Also kenza pele.
Re tla bona ko pele. Sharp. Bye, Sia. Bye, Mpakie.
Bye.
We'll see you.
Have a good one.
Enjoy the barbecue.
What was the Noktula doing? Phone numbers on Kizinto.
They're gonna talk on DM, so she's gonna hook up on DM. This is Buitumelo, guys. Buitumelo is, huh?
Hello.
Buitumelo is the MEC of
Hi,
health.
guys.
Hi, Buitumelo.
Buitumelo is the MEC of health.
How are you?
Gauteng.
Akere le saletse di saluni.
Yeah, like
It's finally
she's
see
even
us
like
all.
all
No way.
dressed up. She's dressed up just for this chat, bro.
No,
But she's always
my hair
dressed
looks
up.
like Sia's hair.
Yes.
Your president closed the saloon, so my hair looks like your hair, Sia.
Wait, that's why I also had to show that I have not been going to the hair salon, guys. This is the situation we're sitting with right now. Nobody can judge us, okay?
I know, right? But Mpakie, you still look. Mine is like Sia's, literally like Sia's hair.
Angithi style, angithi style isamanje, angithi.
Yeah,
How are you?
I guess. So
How are
apparently
you?
I'm the top fan here.
Yeah, no, we Tumelo every live for the past 4-5 days, 2 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, 30 minutes. She's been there.
Let me
Chef.
tell you when I started to become a fan. Do you remember when we were shooting Survivor Kwamash?
Yes. For the
Where
Pure
were you
Monati
staying?
show.
Where
For
were
the
you
Pure Monati-
staying? Where
the
were you
Royal
staying?
Hotel.
At
The
the
Royal
Royal Hotel. So I used, because you remember, like just like Belinda, she went to IHS. So I also went to IHS and they placed me at the Royal Hotel. And you guys were shooting IHS, and that's how I met all of you, Salah, Kagiso, the crew, everybody. Yeah. And then at the hotel they had rules that if you work at the hotel, you are not allowed to come back to the hotel after hours. And you guys had a party in the hotel room. And then you had what do you call this, wardrobe? Spike was hooked me up with what do you call this, with wardrobe. And I sneaked into the hotel. Nobody could see that I worked there. And we had a party in a room.
I have no comment.
So yeah, that's why I started following, you know, from that party. I had to sneak into a hotel where I work in and to make sure for Abampon, you know. So I've been around. But can you imagine, I would have been fired and I was still a trainee. If I was caught, I would have been fired. And I would have blamed the whole crew.
You would have asked them to hire you.
I know, right? They would have hired me.
Mpakie, there were 2 Zulu guys banging on every door on one floor of the Royal Hotel, looking for their girlfriends.
Who's that? I know there was a story between Salah and Michael. I think Michael was your wardrobe guy.
No, it was our wardrobe guy, Michael.
Yes, Michael and Salah had stories.
Michael, Mamela, I know. Listen, Mpakie, two random girls were at the ice machine. You know the ice machines in the foyer at hotels?
Yes.
Yeah.
They never went back to their people.
Wow.
They never went back to where?
To their people that they came to the hotel. Those guys knocked and banged on every door on that floor.
But I must say, fun was had. That was one of, and I think you guys stayed for like 2 weeks or something like that. It was a good time.
We were in Devon for about 2
I had
weeks.
so much fun. There was a time where Michael was sick, and I was like, "No, you can come chill with me," because he couldn't go to the shoot with you guys. And I was like, "No, because you're sick. You're not going to the set today. Come chill with me."
Yes, so you took a risk. Eh?
I know, right? Where is Salah?
Salah is somewhere married with kids, obviously, he's still writing.
He's got black kids, right?
I don't know. Those Pure Monati guys. No, but those Pure Monati guys all date non-black. Most of them.
No, and now you're not understanding. All I'm saying, because of his color, it means they're black. Because his nickname was Black. So the kids are black.
So what do you do now, Bitumelo?
Oh yes. So I work for advertising. I work in advertising at TBWA. Do you know TBWA?
Isn't that a construction company?
Ah, it's an advertising company. And then I'm a yoga teacher. So I'm the one that's breaking the stereotypes that fat girls can't do yoga and whatever. So I'm the one that, yeah, I know, right? I will show you some moves. I don't give a see man. Yeah, so I teach yoga. Yeah, that's what I do. I work in advertising 8 to 5. And then on weekends, I do yoga. And when I get time, I do yoga.
Why can't we organize another night where you can prepare and then you can give us like a yoga thing? Like we chat from 10, maybe by 11, Kadinago. We come.
And then, you know, when I do yoga, I change. You know, we're kind of into the mood. You go and then live voice here change. You know, lift your arms. And namaste. Mara ba no ngura go strata mano ka change ke taxi ke bolela khona wa ban ka change immediately ke bolela speedor jo na ke speedor ska la ka nte mara ging and you promise me that I'm going to be in one of your movies. You guys were too serious. I needed to make you guys laugh.
Oh, I'm serious.
See, you must follow me on Instagram, you know, and check my yoga poses.
What's your Instagram handle?
You see how my name is written on the screen?
Yeah.
Boy Tumelo _ yoga.
Okay,
so you fit the whole stereotype of advertising people, ne? Like you're in advertising and then also you're doing yoga.
Yeah.
I'm even.
So I don't smoke, I don't drink. I just have that natural high. That's why when I meet negative people, because they affecting my energy, you know. So I deal with positivity. So when I teach yoga, every time I'm telling them, be kind to those who are unkind. You know how difficult that is. So it means if think about it, if somebody's unkind to you, and then you saying to them, be kind. It's a very difficult. So I always put that in the back of my head. Irrespective of how bad people treat me, I always want to be kind to them. It works like a charm. You must try it. Did you find Mpakie?
I did. I want
David also put it on the comments as
wait,
well.
Wait, Mpakie was asking something?
I wanted to know if you have some classes.
Yes, I do have classes. I do.
Online.
Okay. I just followed you, okay?
Yay! What are you saying, Sia?
No, I was saying what David put it in the comments as well.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. No, it's wrong. No, that's not the one. No. Boy Tumelo. Boy Tumelo. Not sing we Tumelo. Get it right, poet. Boy Tumelo.
Boy, and then the number 2.
Melo. Look at the screen. Can you see the name of the screen? Ah, boss. See, I was just laughing.
He's still got the papalas from June 1st.
Oh, like this.
Like what?
Oh.
Joe is slow and I can see us still on Thursday while we are on Friday. Today's Friday. Wake up. That's it.
There you go. That's the right one.
That's the one.
So this is what one person says. They said they thought you said you're a yoga teacher.
Okay. I think I must leave English. Iruta yoga. Ela ya makhowa ya dinamaste. Iruta yoga. It's in yogurt. You see the problem with English? It gets lost somewhere, you know? So I must stick to Spitori Saga. Iruta yoga, me bravo. But I tell you, so. The crickets and the peoples, the dance pose and all that.
Can you? Why don't we plan a live yoga session here with you at home? But then we must announce it now while you have the platform. It can be for
And
next week.
who am I teaching?
Send all the
want-
followers. Yeah.
So you guys are going to be there doing the same thing, okay?
Yeah,
And I'll
everyone.
okay. All right. That's going to be interesting.
You will tell us. Go and think about it and think of like maybe a 15-minute session or something.
That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Guys,
No, we can. Trust me, we can do whatever.
I'm gonna love and leave you guys.
Yes.
I'm Mpakie. Nice meeting you. I'm going to follow you back.
And I'm going to wait for your classes so we can.
Yes. I get a COVID-19 social distancing.
Yeah, but that's why you have to do it online. I need.
Yes. I can do online. I must say, I also lost a lot of business.
Right now.
Nice talk, Mpakie.
Thank you so much. And then next time, I'll do my hair, I'll do makeup, and do all of that.
We must also do.
But you still look beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And remember, be kind to those who are unkind.
Yes.
Thank
All
you so
right,
much
guys.
for coming, friend. Good to see you.
Sure.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Now I need to
Bye.
figure out. Okay, there we go.
It's fine. I'll take you out. Don't worry.
Wait. I'm saying bye with the yoga pose. Yes, we call the dance pose. That better be close. Can you do that? Did you see that?
Let's see.
Did you see that? I can't see properly. I cannot practice for that day.
Okay.
There. That we call the dance pose.
Wow. I know, so I see it.
And then this is the tree pose. So you see that this is the thing about doing it on here. It's not gonna be.
No, you have to. You must just make a plan.
We try.
No, you have to show the people.
Can you see that?
Yeah, man.
How long have you been
yeah.
How long have you
anyway, bye guys.
Shut up. Come on.
You say
how
what?
Long have you been into yoga?
I've been doing it probably for about 4 years now. But teaching, it's only been a year.
That's good. We play golf. That's how we come down. That's our yoga.
Yeah.
Hey, golf, it's for the money.
There's no such.
There's no such.
Golf,
no, you can find a course that suits your budget.
I hear that.
But anybody you buy golf clubs, and I'm thinking yoga, you just need a mat,
My golf clubs are 10 years old, and they were secondhand when I bought them 10 years ago.
Oh, is it?
And then I never played. Yes.
Okay. I'll look into that. I think it's a stereotype, this is what we do in yoga as well. So with golf as well, we always think it's for the moneyed one.
Yeah, no, it's a stereotype.
Cool.
Nice to meet you, man.
You've met me a long time ago. I know we did around kids and on kids. It's what I was.
But you understand, Mnet show was 16, 17 years ago.
But I see you all, I think, because I see a couple of times in Santin, and I'm like, hi, David, and you greet me like you know me. And you're probably thinking, who's that? Where did I meet? Now I know.
It's a good thing I met you then, before I was married or before I met my wife.
But the scandals I were to tell when you guys were in Durban, they're hectic. Boroni, John Barker. Is it John Barker?
Yeah, I mean, it was 16 years ago, bro.
There's scandals. You guys were wild.
No, it's not a scandal. We were 16 years.
It's already filed, boss. It's already filed. I can't say them here.
We were 16 years younger. We had the biggest TV show, one of the biggest TV shows in the country. Season 2 was why we went to Durban. I was
I was
given
also very young then, yeah.
I was given 3. I was sponsored with 3 VW combis. That's how we went
Yes.
to shoot in Durban. Like I
Yeah,
picked up
that
the phone, called someone.
because we
and I
used to go to clubs every night with those kumbis.
Of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
I
Now we
know.
wanna
I
hear
used to be in
even
those
more.
kumbis.
Let me tell you what happened. When we were shooting Survivor Kwamashu,
Let me sit down.
one of the extras in the sketch, because we remember we didn't have women on our show, so we always had to get extras or people to play the women parts because all the comedians, we were all male. So one of the contestants in the Survivor Kwamashu sketch was a student from UK, I think UKZN or whatever. So we were shooting in Kwamashu all day, and then we had to drop her off at her res after the shoot. When we arrived at the res, someone went on the intercom and said, "Yo, guys, the guys from Pure Mnet Show are here." The whole res came down. Yeah, the whole res.
The whole, I can imagine. Bonke bafuna ukubona, but how
So it
am
ended
I?
up being a party then.
See, yeah, we opened the door of the combi, and people just jumped in the car.
Kodwa wena urati kwamunade ngiyazi bavele bathi how am I? Nababuthi sihambe nabo.
This was 15, 16 years ago. There was no Facebook, no Twitter, no Instagram.
I know
nothing.
there was no Facebook. I was still innocent. I was corrupt by Salah and others, but I was still very young and innocent.
You're spilling everything, man. How? Why you tell about this?
No one has the power to corrupt you.
Can you imagine? I risked my job for a party in a hotel room. I was corrupted.
We were famous 16 years ago.
I can imagine. Yeah, you were, guys.
And you were fun. You were fun, guys. You were nice people.
One more request. Tonight I'm doing requests. So it's I have a 12-year-old. He's in the industry as well. So this is me marketing my boy. His name is
in the yogurt industry. He's in the yogurt industry.
No, man. Your industry, the TV industry. His name is Khosi. So he was on Bantu Hour. But I was a bit, sometimes the shootings, I think, they were, kids, there's rules, man. You guys must also follow these rules, When they were shooting Bantu Hour, I dropped him off at about 6 in the morning. 11 p.m., they're still not finished. And it's not allowed for kids. I was like,
Yeah, but then you should have taken him. You are the one who must go to jail.
I know. I felt bad the next day.
It's not the correct.
They were shooting in Soweto.
It's your child.
They were shooting in
Soweto. How?
It's your child. You took him there.
Me bragi tswa Pitori ne. Rena ba thoko Pitori na le phobia ya bo Soweto. Body Alex ke phobia me bragi tla Pitori. So I had to drive from Soweto ka 11 o'clock. Ooh, bendi tugesia.
No, listen. Mamela came with it.
Yes.
It's your child, number one. You are the one who made the child. You are the one who had sex without a condom. Let's start there. Then you still yourself. You yourself took the child to a set where yourself, and then you left him there for however long.
Childminder.
And also that's the other thing, with the industry, like you gotta be there, like with the kids, so that like they don't do things that that you will not like later on, or that they don't get even used at all.
Yeah, that's true. That's
so
true.
You should have been there, or like an uncle or something or an aunt should have been there.
So he, like, as well, he's 12 years old. He started when he was 3 years old. He started doing ads and all that. And I used to make sure every time there's a helper that goes with him and I would call. But that day, my helper was not available. And I am like, okay, let me go drop him. And they promised me, we've got a childminder and this and this and that. Then I had to leave the office early. But when I got there, they said, we're still not done. I got there like at about 3 o'clock. We stayed until 11 o'clock. And I just didn't want to be rude as well.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. No one forced you to do anything. You could have walked on set and take. There are adults that walk off set, so you could have taken your time.
Now I know. So we're talking about you hooking my little man up. Okay, he's a good, talented little man.
I'm gonna wait for him to be an adult. You must
no, man. You one day you're gonna shoot something and you're thinking, don't adult. You remember me and I'll be like,
I'll put my kids because I don't have to follow any rules. I can, even now, I can call them to come into this live.
Those kids are abused. You can't do that. Are you paying them? Are you paying them?
Do they eat? They eat.
Do they eat on set?
That's their payment.
They eat when they want.
What?
Yeah, that's their payment to go to like they have food at their table.
My kids already got their first paying gig.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My son also pays bills, you know. It's just the two of us. So somebody, he needs to bring money. I need to bring money. So Remitana halfway.
Yes, it's the black tax, ne?
It already started.
Yeah.
So
it has already started.
So boy, to go and plan the yoga class. I'm sure everybody here will come back. I mean, you've seen everybody comes back every night.
And it needs to be announced.
Yeah. So in the next few days, we'll announce when is it.
We'll announce. Okay, cool. Can I please also say hello on Saturday to my Ghanaian brother? See you on Saturday. Huh?
Yeah. DKB Ghana.
You know, I've got Ghanaian roots nyana.
So tomorrow night, guys, I've got Melo Mino. Go check it out on the Instagram or check a video on YouTube. It's called Dikgomo, Dikgomo. Her name is Melo, Mellow. We're gonna hang out, and another thing that's interesting about her, her sister, one of her sisters manages her, the other one owns the record company. The brother shoots all her photo shoots and music videos.
Oh, so nice.
We've got them tomorrow night. Those are the guys we're hanging out with. Saturday, funniest comedian in Ghana, DKV Ghana.
He's funny, hey?
Same time, 10 p.m. live, Facebook, YouTube. I'm gonna do this pretty much every night as long as I'm home and who's playing that song?
I think it's me, yeah.
Okay, play the song. That's how we go out. Play the song. Play the song.
Yeah,
was that you?
Yeah.
David.
Play the song. That's how we're going out, guys.
In the volume.
Yeah. Faga, boy.
It sounds good. I see she's got the Melo, the one I have on Boy to Melo.
No, play the song, Boy to
Who's
Melo.
playing the song, Kant?
It was Boy to Melo.
Should I play it?
Yeah. That's how we're going out.
Let me see if I can. Bye-bye, good night.
Au revoir. Adime.
Okay, sharp.
Bonne nuit. How do I end this? Cut me out.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya. Where did you go? Emma. See ya, where did you go? Guys, thanks for coming again and staying for another 2.5 hours. Tanya, thanks for coming through. Let us know when you want to join us again. And be safe, guys. All my friends in the US, please be safe. Take care of yourself. Um, yeah, it's a hard one. I guess we've been through it in South Africa. So sometimes we still go through it. Thanks, Boy Tumelo joining us. Noktula. Guys, follow Ntenya from Kenya, one of the funniest comedians and actresses we met recently. We're planning something. Tenya, I don't know if we'll be ready by Saturday with everything that's going on, but we'll talk about it. But guys, we're gonna have a viewing for. We're gonna do comedy sketches. Myself, Ntenya from Kenya, and another comedian friend of mine, Aisha Alpha, based in LA. And then we're gonna have a viewing party for the sketches, right? Because Ntenya makes a lot of sketches, but she never posts them. So we're gonna have an unveiling for her sketches. I'll tell you guys when that's gonna happen. It was supposed to be Saturday at 7, but we're gonna check it out. We're gonna try and see if we still make it happen for this Saturday or if we move it. But Ntenya, please put your Instagram handle. Tina, we are here every night, 10 p.m. As long as my wife doesn't mind, because I haven't seen her now for the past few days. From 10 p.m. I don't see her. She watches TV with the kids, and now I'm gonna go and wake her up when I go to bed. Look out for some of the sketches on my YouTube channel. Besides just the chats that we're doing, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be very exciting. We're going to have fun. Saturday, I know DKB Ghana is funny, guys. Actually, he popped in last night on the live, and I've taken that clip and I've put it separate in YouTube. You can go check him out, and then we'll play. And if you guys want to suggest guests or musical guests, or it doesn't have to be celebrities. It doesn't have to be famous people. They don't have to be in entertainment. If there's people that you guys want to suggest that you think we can have a chilled, frank chat, sometimes funny, maybe funny, and just be kind, be nice to one another, and and let's see how we get out of this misery and these horrible times that we're in, and how we all come out better people and hopefully with better lives somehow, or at least prepare ourselves for whatever's coming next. Thank you so much, guys. If you're not subscribing to my YouTube channel yet, please subscribe, press the notifications thing, and it helps. It helps a lot. Thanks for being here. Thanks for spending your data and your money. And tomorrow night, 10 p.m., right here. Well, tonight, Friday, 10 p.m., right here on my YouTube channel live. Whang! Thank you, guys.